What makes Singapore a popular destination for top talents from around the world? Welcome to Zoom In, Zoom Out, your global look at news from Taiwan. Reporting from Singapore, I'm your host, Alec McDonald.
And I'm Isabel Wang. So in the last episode, we talked to Taiwan's envoy to Singapore, Tong Zhenyuan, and the local economist, Harold Lim, both discussing the opportunities that Singapore offers for Taiwan's businesses.
And in this episode, we're going to take a look at the top questions that Taiwanese firms would have for entering the global market, including here in Singapore.
Let's hear from Top Science. It is a leading semiconductor solution provider that has already helped top companies setting up operations here in Singapore. That includes VSMC and UMC.
I'm Justin. Currently, I'm in charge of regional operations in Singapore. Our subsidiary established in 1997, which is about 30 years. So currently, as a regional hub, we are trying to expand our footprint to Vietnam, Malaysia, and Thailand. Singapore is central locations actually giving us to enter the market of ASEAN and also Indian market. And also Singapore stable politics and economic environments actually provide a fertile ground for us to do the business development.
So given the current geopolitical tensions, like doing business, you have to be very resilient, right?
Yes.
So with what's happening around the world with the US tariffs, with other related risks, how are the office here?
We're actually doing different strategy based on different regions. For Singapore as a transit hub, we are developing specialty chemical manufacturing and equipment assembly and component cleaning, and also ESG related initiatives such like waste recycling for our local customer and suppliers. For other countries such like Malaysia, Vietnam, and Thailand, we are trying to bridge the supply and demand between overseas suppliers and local customers. And also we are trying to build up a self-satisfied engineering team to help local customers to provide their after-sales service and maintenance.
So what are the opportunities and the challenges that you would foresee to maybe sustain or advance this kind of partnership?
Actually, currently we are trying to set up a supply chain management platform for all our suppliers. But of course, not only for Taiwan suppliers, there are China suppliers, there are Japan suppliers, Korean suppliers. They all want to use this platform to bundle with our current capabilities to enter this market quickly. Yeah, so as overseas suppliers want to enter Singapore, the most important things usually fall on logistic issues. Different kind of materials you want to bring into Singapore, there are license, there are warehousing, there are transportation regulations that local agents need to help to settle the issues. That's the barriers for them to enter the market at the moment.
So looking ahead, in order to mitigate risk, because there are a lot of things that might still happen in the next maybe 3 years or 3.5 years. So how does your team or like Top Science would do to plan this all, like to map all the strategies out?
Currently, actually, company to set up quite a few strategies like building a supply chain management platform in Singapore as a regional hub. Then, of course, we are also considering to build up a manufacturing site, actually to help local customers do the after service, including just mentions that equipment assembly, component cleaning, because there are a lot of components that they request to do cleaning frequently. So go back to before that they usually ship back to the manufacturer site, which is probably in Taiwan, in US, in Europe. But if we are able to set up the factory in Singapore, we will be able to build a self-sustainable ecosystems to help local customers to bridge the cost efficiency.
Companies like Top Science are helping to set up supply chain systems that will help companies go beyond the success that we're seeing just in the semiconductor industry.
Yeah, like what you said, other than big companies, Singapore is actually called the Silicon Valley of Asia because of the thriving and welcoming startup ecosystem, especially in AI and semiconductors. Ting Fan is the third employee for a Singapore-based process equipment company. Coming from a decade-long work experiences in semiconductor industry, she walked me through the JTC Launchpad at One North, a well-known Singapore startup complex, and the nearby food court, where she often finds herself discussing unexpected business opportunities. We actually saw a lot of food court in Singapore, and then especially for this one, I felt like it's a little bit different because it's built for startup most of all. So I think when you're here as a Taiwanese, mingling with your co-workers coming from different places, like what does this food court mean to you, work-wise or like, you know, networking-wise?
Okay, yes. For me, I think this place is more like because many people they from different stuff, but from different country, right? And then come here for lunch, for dinner, and this is a good place that you can meet different founder, different people. They also start company, so you get all the idea, and it's helped me to generate my idea as well. This is a meeting pot, so usually different company, if they have a big event, they will host here, and yeah, so they will usually have a event announcement, and then provide a free lunch, and usually a lot of investors also coming because they want to see the startup, they want to explore or maybe have opportunity to invest. The other level, yeah, under JTC, yeah, this area is all under JTC. So government give us subsidiary for a startup company. So even the rent is cheaper than my personal accommodation.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So like they're trying to encourage more startup companies to come over here. So Ting, it was really nice to know the Block 71. So like I'm interested in knowing what brings you here to Singapore, and then especially working in semiconductor and then a startup.
Yeah, I come here also for work. But previously Singapore, I already worked almost 10 years in semiconductor industry. So my first job is in TSMC. Yeah, so I've been in TSMC almost 5 years, and then I decided to pursue my MBA in UK, and after UK I joined Intel. Yes, and after Intel I joined Micro in Singapore. So for me, I have been to Taiwan, China, US, Singapore.
So Isabel, for startups looking to expand here to Singapore, do they really stand a chance?
Yeah, of course. So actually there is a startups ecosystem that's supported by the Singaporean government. I actually went to their office with Ting and spoke with the CEO. He's called Patrick Ling.
Here in our meeting rooms. So ACE, we are the National Trade Association for Startup in Singapore. We are partially funded by the Singapore government to see how we can support the Singapore-based startup to grow out of Singapore.
I would say Singapore compared to Taiwan is more international, and the people around you can be from different countries. So compared to Taiwan, majority are Taiwanese, yeah, probably 90%, and some from India or US.
We are partnered with Startup Island Taiwan, also Yawan. So I think these are good partners where on an annual basis, we see quite a number of interest of a Taiwanese startup coming to Singapore. They come here during the big event like Echelon, like Switch. I was in Taiwan a few times this couple of years as well. When we interact with the startup founder, we see that they are also very ambitious.
When we first arrived here, we don't know anything. So we built up by a lot of network events and a lot of government agents that help us to get all the resources from Singapore. I usually encourage our employees, we go around. We are in a startup hub near this area, so you better just go around instead of just search everything on website.
Singapore government focus a lot more on deep technology development. So whether it's semiconductor, whether it's AI, whether it's human health potential, sustainability, smart nation. So, and when I look at the profile of many of these Taiwanese startups, they will fit into the profile of the focus area of Singapore government. So when you come to Singapore, definitely there will be a fair number of government incentives that you can tap on. Now, the only caveat is you need to have at least 30% Singapore local equity. In terms of challenges, there are a lot, I would say. Cost of doing business is higher in Singapore. So I think cheap rental in Launchpad helps the startup a lot. There's also the cost of hiring. Manpower cost is higher in Singapore.
In Taiwan, of course, we are the best in semiconductor, and we have a lot of hardware talent. And in Singapore, they are more focused on software development, and also they are also emphasized for the AI. So a lot of Taiwanese friends, they tell me they want to come to Singapore because this is a hub to go to international stage.
What about concerns over the impact AI is having on Singapore's startup industry? Patrick is seeing changes in their ecosystem partners.
We always say that in the typical tech industry cycle is about 3 to 5 years or 5 to 7 years. But we look at AI, I think the life cycle is probably 6 months or 9 months. My only advice is really AI is here to stay, and I think it will continue to grow, it will continue to evolve in different aspects of our life and our sector. The next big thing could be AI, robotic, humanoids. I think we begin to see some of that already. I think these are things that as a startup founder or as a startup ecosystem partners, we have to see how we can continue to embrace AI.
I feel like if you know how to use AI, it's help our work efficiency. So for example, now we have many data. We just use ChatGPT or other software to help us to write the code, and we just review it. So this saves a lot of time for our software development.
Startups in Singapore really face a lot of challenges, and they need all the help that they can get to get past those first few stages.
Yeah, I feel like entering this market, being able to find the right networking, right resources, even investors is very important as well.
We talked to Bruno Lin, who has spent his career helping businesses network and get past those first few challenges.
Yeah, so he's actually setting up a major event like that in October here in Singapore. You just became the president for the Asia Taiwanese Chambers of Commerce Junior Chapter. Yeah, so what is the mission for the chapter?
Our mission is to connect the business opportunity from the first generation and also connect to local network, like local business community.
Can you talk a little bit more about the 2025 Taising Startup Summit that you're gonna host?
So I running this event for around like 3 years. So this year I would consider should be one of the biggest one because it's also 60 years of Singapore. And because this year I am going to invite our business chapter partner from different country, and I will invite some like second generation from land and also connect and some local like investor like venture capital and PE and family office to join us. Because for past few years, right, there's more and more like family office building in Singapore, and lots of investors they are looking for some good business opportunity to invest and to partnership.
So there are statistics saying that 90% of the startups they would probably fail. Yeah. Since you're personally in the startup company as well, what's your take on that? The statistic, the idea of the likelihood for most of the startups to fail.
Yeah. I think definitely, I think the percentage should be even higher, maybe 95, 99%. And everywhere there's some value opportunity. Even in corporation, it's still sometimes the project get cut. But I would say the most experience I learned from startup is like you will learn really practical experience from a startup. So I believe all the experience you will really help you yourself to become a better man in the future. I would say some of the startups in Singapore they really rely on the government resource, which is not really a bad thing. But you need to allocate your resource.
Yeah, so after talking to all the Taiwanese and Singaporeans, business professionals and entrepreneurs, it makes me feel like nothing is impossible right here.
Thank you for watching this episode of Zoom In, Zoom Out. Have you been to Taiwan or Singapore? If so, leave a comment below.
And don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Until next time.